Guys, first of all, like, sorry for being scarce, but like academics are the ghetto, okay? The ghetto. Back to my channel. So today's video is a sit-down video where I'll be talking about things that I wish I would have known whilst pursuing my undergrad degree, like my bachelor's degree. So these are things that I wish I could have like actively sought out information on, things that I wish someone would have told me about, and things that I wish the institution where I was part of like could have provided such information for me. So I hope you enjoy this video. So this video for me was basically inspired obviously by my own experiences, and secondly, well, as part of my own experiences. About a week and a half ago, like at the faculty, we had like a law week, like a career day expo, that sort of situation. So basically like law firms, and it was literally like your top law firms in South Africa basically set up tables all around the faculty. Obviously they gave us some nice goodies, calendars, pens, but that's not what was important. That was not the takeaway from that whole experience. And you could basically speak to them, ask them questions, and it was just a good experience. So I mean, obviously that whole day was mostly for undergrads and not really for postgrads, but obviously I never experienced such a thing at my previous institution, so it was definitely something that was informative for me, and there were things that I wish I would have known. So let's get straight into the video. The vacation work. Like, vacation work is very, very important. And I think as students, we sometimes make the mistake of only starting to think about our careers or our profession when we are nearing the end of our degree, instead of thinking about it from like our first year. And that's just because we see university, yes, we are there, to study towards our careers, but it's also, the freedom, being wild, the rebellion, all of that sometimes, we lose focus a bit and focus more on the fun part and not really on our future, or we focus more. Obviously, it's important to focus on the present, but you need to think about your future. Rec basically entails you working for a law firm or obviously during holidays, so that would be like your June holidays and your December holidays, and you work for them, for experience purposes. You don't necessarily get remunerated for it, unless I guess the company chooses to, but that's not the point of it. It's about the experience. So the advantages of doing vacation work for law firms is, number one, the practical experience that you will get. University is good and all, but university does not provide a lot of practicality. Yes, you do moot court, yes, like you will learn how to draft papers and all of that, but it doesn't really prepare you for what you're going to be actually experiencing once you get out into the workforce. So that's number one. Number two, it looks good on your CV. Like, obviously nowadays many companies, whether even if you're not studying law, like different fields, they require you to have experience, but you just finished studying. So it's weird, but they require that. So having something as like vacation work, having worked for law firms like from your first year up until you were done, like obviously gives you an edge. And having an edge is very important because, I mean, guys, think about it. There's so many universities in South Africa that provide the law degree, and not just like an LLB. There's an LLB, there's a BCom law, there's a BA law, and now there's like a BEc law. So you can see that there's actually lots of people that actually pursue like the law field, and you need to, it's a competitive industry, and you need to show that, you have something that gives you an edge. So that's what makes it important. And thirdly, even when you do vacation work, the type of company or law firm that you do vacation work for matters. Firstly, because if you do your vacation work at a law firm, at a small law firm, at most it will give you an experience in only one type of law or one department of law. But if you work for your much bigger law firms, they will at most have different departments, so from commercial law, property law, competition law, public procurement, all of it. So you'll be able to experience different types of law. And for me, that's important because like at the university that I was in, like first year, second year, and third year, we didn't choose which modules we wanted to do. And you just did what, like our modules were pre-selected for us. It's only in fourth year where we did 13 modules in total, and 4 of those modules we actually chose for ourselves. So having the experience of having worked practically in these different departments in a bigger law firm would actually give you an informed knowledge on what, when you get to your fourth year, what modules you'd like to choose, because you've actually experienced those different departments. It's also important for vacation work, because the law firms, especially the much bigger law firms, actually require you to have done your vacation work with them for them to consider you for your articles. And some of these law firms, you don't just go there and just work for them, slave away, anything like that. They do boot camps. They also conduct interviews. Like they sort of like prepare you for your articles even before you get there, so that by the time you get there, you already have such knowledge. They already know that we actually trained this person. They actually experienced to work with us from first year, from second year. So you are more likely to be chosen than like some other person. So obviously you need that edge. And most important thing that I wish I would have known is that law firms, especially your bigger law firms, they actually require you to apply for your articles at least 2 years in advance. So for example, for me, I started my degree in 2015 and completed it in 2018. So obviously 2019, if I had decided to pursue my articles, would be in the year where I started my articles. So for me to be able to start my articles, I would have needed to apply from 2016. That doesn't go for all law firms, but it goes for most of your bigger law firms. And obviously, I've spoken about the advantages of working for a bigger law firm as compared to working for the smaller ones. And it's not just about the experience in the different departments. It's also about the fact that your bigger law firms will be nationwide. So you can work in Cape Town, you work in Joburg, you can work in Durban. And some of them are not just nationwide, they are global law firms. So you can work in South Africa this year, and next year you can find yourself in Canada. And who doesn't want to travel, guys? Who doesn't want to experience a different community of people? So those are the advantages. And then I think something that is very, very important, it's your salary. So you have your law firms that will literally pay you 1,500 rands a month, okay, for working an 8 to 4 job. You studied 4 years and you get paid 1.5 a month. First of all, 1.5 a month, that is nothing, okay? Like as an employed person, okay, it's not even like minimum wage. It's way below minimum wage. Ooh, wow, it stresses me just thinking about it. But you need to think about food, you need to think about transport, you need to think about lunch, you need to think about accommodation. And 1.5 is not going to do that for you. So obviously you wouldn't want to start at a law firm that pays you like peanuts. And then obviously there are law firms that they will pay you like at least minimum wages, like about 3.5. And then there are law firms, your bigger law firms will literally pay you anything from 15,000, and that's what we all want. We don't want to start a job and then be earning 1.5, especially if you come from a very disadvantaged background where your family might actually be reliant on you. So you need, you need a job that pays you like a proper, and that will be your bigger law firms as compared to your smaller law firms. So that is actually something that is very, very important. The thing is that you need to start thinking about your different options once you complete your LLB. So there's not just one avenue which you can go off into. You literally have quite a few. So first of all, you can pursue your masters like I did, and even there you have two options, either pursuing them by research or pursuing them by coursework. You can also do your practical legal training at a law school, or you can actually just pursue your articles, right? And you can also like work part-time, so maybe doing your master's part-time and then doing your articles on the other hand. It's obviously up to you and looking at your circumstances, what you can afford, because doing your master's and going to law school actually requires money. And for law school, there's no bursary, there's no scholarship, there's no nothing. You're gonna have to pay cash upfront for that. So you need to look at your family situation, you need to look at your financial situation. Can you afford it or not? And obviously, if you can't afford to keep on studying, you'd obviously then, okay, you need to go out into the working field. And even then, you don't want to end up at a law firm that pays you like 1.5 or like 3.5. You'd want a law firm that pays you like enough, and it makes it worth it that you actually studied 4 years, because it is not easy. Like I said, academics are the ghetto, guys. It is not easy. So at least if you can sort of like experience the fruits of your labor, that would be great. That would be amazing. And then at least for your masters, there's scholarships, there's bursaries, or some sort of like funding available for that. So obviously you need to take into account your personal circumstances. And even for your articles, if you start with your practical legal training, which is 6 months long, you only have to do your articles for a year afterwards. But if you just go from your LLB straight to doing your articles, then that would have to be 2 years. So that's why it's so important that the law firm they actually start your articles with would actually be like a proper big law firm that will pay you well. Because imagine like studying for 4 years and then working for 2 years where you're just literally earning peanuts. Like, nobody wants that. So that's something that is important that you actually need to think about. That's why it's so important that you need to apply way in advance. That's why it's important that you need to do vacation work, so that you can have some sort of like competitive edge over the other applicants, right? I hope like people are not discouraged or not like going through the most because maybe they didn't know this thing and it's maybe a bit too late. It's literally never too late. So even if you are doing your final year this year and maybe you haven't done any vacation work or you haven't applied for articles yet, there are still law firms that are open for vacation work for this year and articles for next year. You can definitely still apply for your practical legal training, and you can definitely still apply for your masters and bursaries or scholarships. So that's something that like the options are still there. So I will definitely list down the 2 websites that you provide some sort of like portal between students or prospective graduates and law firms. So through that website you can apply for your vacation work and for and for your articles. Like, I think that those 2 websites would actually help out a lot of people, so I would definitely list them down in the description box. And people, don't be discouraged. Like, look at me, like I didn't do vacation work. Hate that I didn't do it. And yeah, and I didn't apply like in 2016 for my articles in 2019. But I've definitely fixed some of the mistakes that I've made. Yeah, all you can do is learn from other people's experiences, and by people I mean myself. Yeah. Also suggest, like, for students whose institution that they in don't provide for like a career expo or like a law week or something like that, that you'd actually suggest to like your student advisory or your student representatives, especially the ones directly in the faculty, to host law firms, like to invite law firms to come into the to the institution or to the faculty and just speak to students and tell them about their options, and students can actually engage with law firms to hear about what they actually want. So that would definitely be my suggestion, because I know that like the university that I was in did not provide such an experience, and it would actually help out a lot of students if they would. And yeah, guys, I think that's all I have to say about like things that I wish I would have known whilst pursuing my LLB. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, I wasn't enjoy it, but I hope it was informative. I hope it was informative, and I hope it didn't make people panic or just, I don't know, be under pressure about their careers or their profession or whatever. Like, not all is lost. Like, you can still apply for these things. And if you're still doing your first year, second year, like, you are in luck. I hope, like, this video reaches your, like, and you actually learn from my mistakes or from my experiences. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and